Are you serious? Are you serious? There's a huge algae bloom out on the Pacific Ocean along the northwest coast that's got scientists puzzled, baffled, and even concerned because of the potential deadly toxins that this algae bloom can release. Now, there's different conflicting reports out there that some are saying people are already sick. Let me just tell you right now, I want to thank Ken Jensen for doing some really great research, getting this information to us. But commercial and recreational fisheries up and down the West Coast have been forced to close as a result of a massive toxic algae bloom, which scientists are describing as one of the largest in history. They're calling it a blob, not that purple blob that washed up on the shores, or all them dead crabs. Although maybe the dead crabs could have something to do with this, why it's being affected. We're not sure. But here's what we do know. Quote, we have received reports of this particular bloom causing problems as far south as the Monterey Bay, and we've heard from our colleagues up in Homer, Alaska, that they are seeing these cells. Vera Trainer, manager of the Marine Biotoxin Program at NOAA's Northwest Fisheries Science Center, was reporting this to the Think Progress. Also, we know that the Seattle Times has been covering it very extensively, what's going on there with this bloom. It's geographically very widespread, more so than we've seen in the past. The last time an algae bloom of comparative size occurred on the West Coast was in 1988, and that bloom stretched from San Diego to the state of Washington. But algae blooms happen when microscopic marine algae, also known as, and it's got a 17-letter word that I'm just going to put in the details. What happens is this bloom begins to propagate, it begins to grow, and this it results in a buildup of toxins such as a domonic, I didn't say demonic, I said domonic acid, and a powerful and fatal neurotoxin. It's a neurotoxin. High concentrations of algae or domonic acid aren't uncommon, occurring in the Pacific primarily in the fall of the year, but when ocean temperatures tend to be more at their warmest. But according to Dan Ayers, coastal shellfish manager with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, to see such an intense and extensive concentration of toxic algae this late spring and summer months is more rare. It's extremely rare. The thing that is so significant of this bloom is its timing, when it's happening, and its size, huge. Okay? So in the past, these things were always in the warmer climates. I'm wondering if El Nino has anything to do with it, with the changing of the temperatures. And, where's Al Gore when you need him? Right now would be a good time for him to explain climate change. And maybe it's part of the climate chaos that the French foreign minister says, 500 days until climate chaos. And I'm here with my friend John Kerry and Obama, and Obama knows. So remember when he did that press conference? Well, he did that in May of 2014, and he told us there was 500 days until climate chaos, which ends September 24th, 2015. So are we going to see uptick in volcanoes? Yes. Have we seen an uptick in earthquakes? Yes. Has there been more sinkholes opening, extreme straight line winds in Vietnam uprooting 1,000 trees? Yes. Has there been extreme weather conditions of flooding and rain of biblical proportions in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana? Yes. Do we have an all-time worst drought in history in California and parts of the West Coast? Yes. And do we have the largest algae bloom in the wrong season off the coast, the West Coast? Yes. So what? Are you serious? You don't even want to talk about dead birds, dead fish, dead cows. I already know you don't want to talk about that. You don't even want to hear the word Hosea prophecy. But if you take 3 steps back, look at the apocalyptic events going on around the world, you'll see that certainly something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Anyway, I'm going to put the entire link below. You can click on it. You can click on the link below, read the entire article if you want to. I think it'd help understand. But the reports that there is people already getting sick in the West Coast. Some are even reporting they've died from this toxic from the algae bloom. I can't verify that. I know the Seattle Times is working hard on that. I know Ken Jensen in Vancouver, Canada, is also a scientist, and he's also working very extensively on this and very concerned. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on it because we're living in very perilous times. We're in the last days. Don't be left behind, because this is just the beginning of sorrows, for the end is not yet. Jesus said that in Matthew 24. No, there's a lot worse coming. The wrath of God. Don't be left behind. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.